What's up, everyone? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into tonight's NBA games. I didn't want to convolute yesterday and have college and NBA, but if you saw my college picks, then nothing's changed. They're all going to be the same. We got a nice third leg victory early. Again, I just used the metric that always comes through for me, at least way more often than it doesn't. We had the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, that was winless against the spread, so we took them, and they won. That's what happened with TCU yesterday. That's what happened with California Baptist yesterday. And that's what I expect to happen with Georgia and Baylor. And then I went into yesterday as well, all of my college picks. The only college picks that I since my yesterday's video that I like is I like Boston College to cover this. I'm sorry, I already went in Boston. I like Loyola Chicago to cover the spread, and I like California to cover the spread, both for men's basketball, simply because, again, they haven't covered all year, and I think they cover. So Loyola Chicago and Cal, I like covering the spread. They don't play till a little bit later, but I'll just go over them with you so you guys can see, and then we're going to go on right to the NBA. And sometimes they won't even be listed in here for some reason. Cal should. Honestly, they both should, but like I said, to me, the metric, the number doesn't really matter. I'm betting the metric. So Cal's giving 4.5, so I like them minus 4.5. And I like Loyola Chicago given that 1.5. I think they both cover those spreads. So pretty simple there. And everything else, like I said, I went over yesterday's video. As far as the NBA, so the Heat's an interesting one because they are locked as a third leg now. I thought even with the 6 being flipped, you'd think a lot of people might be on the Heat, but Duncan Robinson's out too, so they really have nobody that can theoretically score with Jimmy out, all these guys out. So I do think there's actually going to be a lot of people taking Washington, especially money line, but maybe to cover. So I'm just leaving it. There's a good chance the 6.5 doesn't cover, but I'm just going to leave it for the metric. I think the Heat cover the official spread. Like I said, that's what I've been using all year, and they're the worst team this year against the spread. Now, these are a couple first sequences. Here I do like Philadelphia for a couple reasons. One, I think Milwaukee should be a slightly bigger favorite, simply because, yes, you have Jrue Holiday out, but you also have James Harden out. Now, I was looking at the full injury reports, and you notice Wesley Matthews is out. A lot of their shooters are out. So, again, Giannis can put up 50 points and lose, like Seth did last night. So, I do like Philly here. I also think guys like Tobias, he's playing, by the way, Harris, it looks like. Tobias Harris, Maxey, PJ Tucker, they can all get it going, Embiid, of course. And that can explain away. And again, it's on ESPN. I think they're going to force that narrative. This is why you need Middleton. This is why you need these role players. You can't just have Giannis. This is why you need PJ Tucker. So I do think that the Sixers win this game for narrative reasons. And that's going to be a first leg. And another one that I do like is the under here. Both these teams are doing really good on the over. So I did go ahead and pick them as the under on a second leg. And again, it's going to be at 8:30. So what happens is, as the 7 o'clock games go on, our college games and our NBA game, you can kind of tell if one's looking pretty bad. And if it is, we can kind of lock this one in as a second leg. And not just this game, but other ones as well, such as the Suns game, etc. But I do like, in this particular game, I just feel like the under's going to hit eventually. And both these teams are two of the highest as far as the metric on the over. So I like the under here, and I think it finally hits. And then another one here that I've been looking at, and this is probably one of my favorite ones, so this will likely be a leg 2 or 3. I'll just have to see how the sequences finish out. I love Utah here, +2, +1.5 it is now, simply because I think everyone's going to be on the Suns, who just pounded the Warriors without Paul, and they're going to think, okay, they Payne, all these guys, Bridges, they can get it going, and they can. But that's exactly why they're going to lose. Everyone's going to pick them, and the Jazz are going to spoil like they've been doing all year. So I really do like the Jazz here as a second or third leg. And Knicks Warriors, it's not one I love, but I do like the Warriors simply because they're painting the narrative that this team can't win on the road, but at home they're really good. And they're also painting that they can't play defense, so it's becoming shootouts. So I think the Warriors run away in a shootout. It's probably close early, but I think the Warriors pull ahead and run away in a shootout here. I don't think this one's particularly close. I think people to see to both sides of the Warriors, how they can win by 30 and how they can also lose by 20, 30 if they're not playing good defense. And they're pushing again how all their wins have come at home this year. So, yeah, the Knicks could be an upset team, but I said at the beginning of the year I think they'll get about 40 to 45 wins. I don't think they're going to be much above 500. So, to me, it makes sense that the Warriors win, and I think they cover the 7.5. They've been doing abysmal against the spread this year. So, Pistons-Lakers, I'm just not playing. I don't know what's going on with LeBron. If I absolutely had to, my logic leans, if the Lakers win, they're probably going to win big and cover, since they've done so abysmal against the spread. So if I had to, I would lean Lakers, but I don't love that game. But same thing with the Nuggets here, and same thing with the Grizzlies. So the Nuggets, again, if I had to, because I feel like so many people are going to be fading Dallas at this point, that's a lot of points. I think Dallas covers and they run away with it without Jokic, without Gordon's day to day, and without Murray. Murray's been their main 3-point guy. I think they can, and now they got Luka fresh, quote fresh. So if I had to, I'd play Dallas, but right now I'm not running out of my way to play that one. The ones I like are, the Heat I'm locked into, so I like the Heat plus the 6. I do like the Sixers to win this game, basically cover the same thing. I really like the Jazz with that 1.5. I think it might be a very close game, so 1.5. I might take them at 2, to be quite honest. They were originally getting 2 and it moved, so I might take Jazz plus 2. I just think that spread doesn't make sense, and I like the Warriors to cover. As far as and the Celtics under, I like a lot. So just to recap them all, the ones that I'm not particularly playing, but if I had to, I'd pick, would be the Lakers and the Mavs to cover. But it's not one I'm running out of my way to play. But if I do decide to play them, I'll let you know. But as it stands, we have a good bit of college games in play, and we have a college football game in play as well. So that's why I'm only playing about 4 games for the NBA tonight. And as I said, with ones like the Celtics under and ones with the Heat, where I'm already kind of locked in, they're going to be later legs. Suns Jazz is probably going to be like a second or third leg. So I just wanted to cover all that so you guys know exactly what I'll be picking and what sequences we'll be closing out. We'll have to see how Georgia does and Baylor. As you can see, we have a couple on leg 2s already, like Portland lost yesterday. So leg 3 here, most likely, like I said, Heat I already have locked in. I have no choice. So what I'll probably do here is say the Heat don't cover the spread, which is looking pretty likely. I'll probably go ahead and this one I did to win a little less because I didn't really care too much, just because even if I make 15 to 17, I just want to close this sequence out. If the Heat look really bad to start, I'll probably go ahead and just make the Jazz, or it's a metric like that. I'll probably go ahead and make that the fourth leg, just between the metrics. So just so you guys have an idea of what I'm doing. And that's why the Suns will often be a third or fourth leg, because they play later, which I like. Because then we have an idea of how the Sixers are doing and how the Heat are doing. But those are all my picks. I wanted to get them out with a few hours before a game. That way you guys have time to pick them. And like I said, if anything changes, I will go ahead and add it. But all the ones I went over are our picks. My last video covered the college. And the only ones that I've noticed since then, again, is Cal. I like them to cover. And Loyola Chicago. So take care and happy earnings.